Are you thinking of moving to Newton? Let us introduce you to Auburndale, one of Newton's most convenient villages. I'm Jane. I'm a realtor based in Wellesley, Massachusetts. I was born and raised in Boston and been selling real estate here for a long time. And I love helping buyers and sellers find their dream home in the city of Newton.
Hi, I'm Dee Dee and I'm on Jane's team. After 9 corporate relocations, I've settled in Wellesley for the last 12 years. And I love helping our clients that are both relocating from in-state and out of state. I've got a lot of experience with it, and partnered with Jane, we think that we make a great team.
Today we're going to explore Auburndale and what it's like to live there.
Auburndale is one of Newton's 13 villages, and they all have their own distinct personality, really. Auburndale was first settled actually in 1678. So for a southerner like me, that is a really old town.
Wicked old.
Wicked old. It's really convenient for commuters because we have the green line on the MBTA, but the locals around here call that the T. So it's really convenient for people that are looking to commute.
So where is Auburndale? Auburndale is, as we said, one of the villages of Newton, and it is bordered by Wellesley, Brookline, Dover, and Waltham.
Residents love it for the superb school system that it has, and also because it has a lot of green space, and that's really nice in the proximity to Boston that it lies.
It's actually known as the Garden City.
The Garden City, There you go.
Now, one thing we should share is the following.
It is not one of Newton's most adorable town centers, to be honest with you. And there are just a few shops as opposed to lots of shopping that some of the other areas offer. It is really nice, as we said, for the parks that it has there and the transportation options. One thing to note is that it is close to the Mass Pike. That can be both a positive, and then depending on where the home is located, it might be a drawback. It is very convenient also to another place called Moody Street, which is in Waltham, and that is a renowned area for food. Really great food, restaurants, etc. for the foodies that you might know. A lot of ethnic restaurants as well that make it a really nice option.
There's a great Indian market. So all my Indian friends shop there. And one of the things we love about going to dinner on Moody Street, sometimes we don't feel like driving to Boston or dealing with parking. You can usually get street parking in Waltham, and they close the street to cars, and it's just pedestrians, and all these ethnic restaurants have seating out on the street. It's really fun.
It's really nice, and it's kind of hilly, so when you get an outdoor cafe style and experience, it's just beautiful to sit out there at night with all the lights and the sort of hills and things.
Super convenient to Auburndale.
So now let's talk a little bit about real estate. And Jane, I think we've said on other videos, Newton is an expensive place to buy a house. That's just because of the proximity to Boston, the commutability, the schools, all the things we've talked about before. Auburndale specifically is a slightly more affordable as an option in Newton because it's next to the Mass Pike, which can be a benefit in your commuting, but depending on where the house is, as we said earlier, it may be a drawback.
Sometimes you get a lot of road noise.
Might have some noise.
Mass Pike. And also from 95.
That's
Route 95
very fair
as well.
Very fair. And also it's on the Waltham side of Newton, and so that can also contribute a little bit to the affordability. The median sales price in 2025 year to date is about $1.6 million. So certainly not inexpensive, but to compare that to the other villages, it's over $2 million. And so that lends itself to being a little bit more affordable as a Newton option. There's also a lot of different styles as options in the town of Auburndale, from colonials to village Victorians to even some new construction on the rare instance. Elementary schools that serve Auburndale are actually really good. One is Williams, the other is Burr.
Another fun thing is LaSalle College has a community of seniors. You can apply to live there as a senior citizen and take part in the community and attend classes. And I actually checked into it for my parents, and it was actually pretty daunting to have to go into their application process. They really want people active in the community. But what a great way to retire, to be around college students. It's a pretty campus. Next, we're going to take a look at some listings that sold in the first 10 months of 2025. We're going to give you a modest priced home, a more typical price for Auburndale, and then a more expensive home. So you can see for yourself what things are costing. The first house we're going to look at in Auburndale was absolutely adorable. It sold for $810,000 in June of 2025, and it had multiple offers and went very quickly. But it's a dollhouse. It's just about 1,000 square feet. So this is really a condo alternative. However, move-in condition, everything was just beautiful. This is a really good price for Newton, for an Auburndale, Mass neighborhood. Showed beautifully. I can see why it made all those Millennial hearts go aflutter. 3 beds, 1.5 baths, a little bitty yard. Just adorable. So it is possible to buy something under $1 million in Auburndale. Now, a more typical priced home was the one at 65 Grove Street, which was on for $14999 and sold for $1,450. Actually on a very spacious lot. But kind of a sign of the times. This did not go over asking or even at asking, which we've gotten so accustomed to. Some pockets of the 2025 market, while still solid, are not quite as crazy as we've seen in past years. But as you can see, this is a very nice house in move-in condition, shows beautifully. The kitchen is not super updated. That might have impacted its reception to the market. Typically, we see a hardwood floor in the kitchen, and this has some green tile. This has very nice countertops, cabinets, but the backsplash and countertops are a little bit dated. So again, sometimes just those small changes by a seller could have garnered them more than it would have cost to do the improvements, but not everybody wants to make changes just to sell their house. This is nice because it was actually a porch that they enclosed. And then upstairs, 3 beds, good-sized bedrooms, no air conditioning. You're noticing these fans. That means there's no central air conditioning. And the basement is also super cute. So that sold for $1,450, just under asking. It took a month to get that under contract. For a luxury home, we're going to take a look at 29 Gambier, which was on the market for just about $3,100 and sold for $2,875. Now, this was not a brand new home. It was built in 2023, and it was convenient for commuting. It was beautifully done, 5 beds, 5.5 baths, 3,800 square feet, just a gorgeous house. It's a very appealing, quiet neighborhood, which is why I wanted to share it. But I thought it was illustrative of the spring market, that if this were listed in March or April, they probably would have gotten their price. But because they listed later in June, by then a lot of buyers had either found something or re-signed their leases and decided to stay in Boston for another year. So not everything in Newton goes over asking, but this was a solid house in Auburndale.
So if you're considering buying in Auburndale, we would just summarize the following things to keep in mind. Number one, you're going to move very quickly if you're interested in Auburndale, because the good properties just don't stay on the market very long. We always recommend that you get pre-qualified by a lender. It's really important that you have that letter to go ahead and start shopping, because as soon as you don't have it, you're going to go out and find something you really want and be on the back foot, which is
scrambling.
And then you can't be fast, which is something that we need you to be. If you need a recommendation for a lender, we have some very well vetted partners that would be happy to refer you to. We would also recommend that for Newton specifically, if that's your target town, that you consider not just Auburndale, but some of the other villages. We certainly can find a lot of different options for you at large in those 13 different villages. And then, of course, and most important, we think, is that you hire a great agent.
Like us.
Just like us, who know this area well, that are well networked, and can really help you hone down your home search.
So thank you for tagging along on this tour of Auburndale, where we try to highlight some pros and cons. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and let us know if you have any questions. Or if you'd like to hear about a different neighborhood that you want us to explore for you, just let us know. And our first step in working with buyers is to schedule a Zoom call so we can get to know each other a little bit, and we'll kind of walk you through the buying process in Massachusetts. So just drop us a line or give us a buzz, and we'd be happy to schedule that. So we'll see you in the next video.
See you then.